story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Monday, 9:43 a.m., and football fans were delighted with the fact that the Rams had not choked over the weekend. We were working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician.
Kate, hi. Good morning. Great sports weekend, wasn't it?
You mean about the Rams not choking?
Uh-huh. What a team.
They weren't scheduled this week, George.
Yeah, but still.
You're a real LA fan, aren't you, George?
Oh, sure. I love the Rams, the Dodgers, the Clippers, the Kings, the Raiders, the Angels, the Lakers, the Booteries.
Booteries?
Irwin's Bootery. Little League team in Studio City. I coach him.
Oh.
Great young team. Hard-nosed bunch. Come at you with their sneakers high.
Martha's a fan, too?
Loves it.
Were you a good athlete as a kid, George?
Gee, I don't remember. Probably not. Frankly, Mathnet. Pardon me? Do we solve problems? Yes, ma'am. Why? We'll be right there.
Problem?
Uh-huh. Robbery.
What was stolen?
A woman's husband.
Are you from Mathnet?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly.
Your husband has been kidnapped?
Yes. I'm Beulah Balpin. When I woke up this morning, he was gone. There was nothing but this note.
May I see it? We have taken your husband, for we need his special skills. We'll contact you soon. Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a nice stay. Sincerely, the kidnappers.
Strange ransom note. Where'd you find this, Mrs. Balpin?
On the kitchen table. We went to bed at 11 p.m. When I woke up this morning, he was...
We'll do our best to find him. Anything else missing? You know, money, jewelry, toasters, pets.
The car.
Your car is gone?
Yes, yes.
Can you give me the license number?
I'm afraid not. I don't know much about cars.
Do you know what kind it was?
Green.
Under intensive questioning, Mrs. Balpin finally recalled that the car was a green 1957 Chevy Bel Air with hot spark ignition, overhead cams, and racing pinstripes. We asked the head of our lab to run the information through the Department of Motor Vehicles database. The database lists all cars registered in California with information such as license numbers, year of manufacture, owner's name and address, and so forth.
The Balpins don't seem to be very wealthy, Kate.
So?
Usually when someone's kidnapped, the kidnappers want a lot of money. They haven't asked for any.
Not yet.
Huh?
The note said they'd contact her, remember?
I've got something, Mathnetters.
That was fast. Boy, computers sure make it easier, don't they?
If I had to go through all that data by hand to find 1957 Chevys, it could take weeks, to say nothing of the mistakes that could be made. Here's what a search of the Department of Motor Vehicles database shows us. There are 19,537 1957 cars registered in Los Angeles. Of those, 3,456 are Chevrolets. And of those, 326 are the Bel Air model.
We're looking for one with 2 doors.
2 doors. There are 172 of those.
And look, one of them is registered to Hans Balpin. License number 00313. George, put out an APB. See if the LAPD can help us locate that automobile.
Wait, let me search another database.
Another one?
The police keep a file of abandoned cars in their computer.
Worth a try.
Well, how about that? What was the license number again?
00313.
That's what I thought. A green Chevy Bel Air, license number 00313, was found abandoned in a parking lot on Alameda. According to this report, it was found at 3:05 this morning. Both doors open and the engine running.
Somebody must have been in a heck of a hurry to have left the motor running.
Maybe the kidnappers changed cars at that point.
Maybe.
Did your lab people come up with anything from the ransom note, Debbie?
No, it's your typical ransom note. Common typing paper.
What about the newsprint?
No help there. They used almost every newspaper in the area. The one curious thing is the special skills the kidnappers mention. What were they? You know, in the note, when you asked Mrs. Volpine about the special skills, what did she say they were?
We didn't.
Didn't what?
Didn't ask her about them. We were so interested in helping her remember what kind of car he had.
We looked right past the obvious clue in the ransom note.
We should have been alert to every approach to the problem.
Let's go back and talk with her, George. Mathnet Monday. Orson Kane, the famous newspaper publisher? Yes. What can I do for you? I see. We'll be right out.
What's up, Kate?
Orson Kane, the millionaire eccentric, has apparently ordered a hamburger, and it's been deposited on his front lawn.
Shouldn't they have called the Department of Sanitation?
Debbie, can you question Mrs. Volpine for us?
Sure thing, Kate.
I don't get it, Kate. A kidnapping's more important than a hamburger.
I know, George, but this hamburger is different. It's gigantic and it's made out of wood.
The story you're about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
3:43 p.m. and the Bean Sprout protest march had clobbered the traffic on the Pomona Freeway. We were working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankley. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. We had just started to work on a kidnapping case when we got another rather bizarre assignment. We decided to look at the last scene from yesterday's show to get ourselves up to speed.
What's up, Kate?
Orson Kane, the millionaire eccentric, has apparently ordered a hamburger, and it's been deposited on its front lawn.
Shouldn't they have called the Department of Sanitation?
Debbie, can you question Mrs. Volpine for us?
Sure thing, Kate.
I don't get it, Kate. A kidnapping's more important than a hamburger.
I know, George, but this hamburger is different. It's gigantic and it's made out of wood. Orson Charles Kane was an eccentric, no doubt about that. He was a millionaire many times over who indulged himself in what he called the finer things of life. Lavish parties, yellow journalism, controlled politicians. He liked practical jokes like hutfoots, sneezing powders, wars. His pet project was an extravagant museum and zoo complex which was unequaled in the Western world. He purchased rare and unusual items in his travels. His latest purchase was, apparently, an oak hamburger. Excuse us, sir. I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly.
Mathnet.
Hives Bottomley. Valet.
Oh, the keys are in the car.
Now, here's my problem, young mathematicians. This morning, a truck delivered that artifact. The guard signed for it and told them to place it where you see it.
Where did it come from?
I don't know. Mr. Kane is forever buying unusual things for the museum.
Probably Bob's Oak Boy. Would you lower the lid, please?
I'm not clear what you want from us, Hives.
We need to place that work of art into the museum. And in order to use the correct winch, we must know how much it weighs.
I see. It's made of oak, huh?
The box measures 6 feet by 6 feet by 4 feet, Kate.
Is that important?
Yes. We'll go back to the office, make some calculations, and get back to you. I'll take a picture, Kate.
Well, I would appreciate all due speed. Mr. Kane will be back this evening, and he hates to see things littering up the lawn. I would like to move it inside.
We understand, Hives.
Strange, huh, Kate?
What's that, George?
That old man Kane would name his mansion after a sled. Okay, Kate. The problem is, in order to move that thing, we have to find out how much an oak hamburger box weighs.
If we assume the box is solid and find its weight, we'll have a safe estimate.
The hamburger in its box weighs less than a solid box would weigh.
Right. First, we'll need to know the volume of the box in cubic feet. Then when we know how much 1 cubic foot of oak weighs, we can calculate its total weight.
Here's a model of the box. To find its volume, we should multiply its length by its width by its depth.
So let's find the area of the top of the box. The length is 6 feet. The width is 6 feet. 6 times 6. The area is 36 square feet.
Right, that's the area. But we want to know the volume.
So we multiply the area times the depth of the box.
So multiply 36 by 4.
The volume is 144 cubic feet.
That's a good-sized burger.
But we still don't know how much it weighs because we don't know how much 1 cubic foot of oak weighs.
But I do. I called the lumber yard, and they told me that a cubic foot of oak weighs between 45 and 55 pounds. To be safe, let's use the heaviest weight.
Better use your calculator.
Okay. 55 pounds per cubic foot, 144 cubic feet. We multiply 55 times 144. That's 7,920 pounds.
That's very heavy.
And that's without the lettuce and tomatoes.
I'll call Hives and tell him he'll need a crane that'll lift about 8,000 pounds. About 4 tons.
Not a bad day's work. Hard.
The next morning I was a little late getting into the office. Had a dental appointment I'd been putting off. Good news. No cavities. Just needed a cleaning. Debbie Williams was in the squad room when I arrived. Hi, Debbie. Seen George?
Morning, Kate. Yeah, he's getting half a cup of coffee. You know, George doesn't overindulge.
Did you speak with Mrs. Ballpeen?
Uh-huh.
Morning, Kate. Care for some coffee? I guess I don't care for any either.
What'd you find out?
Well, her husband has a lot of special skills. Hard to tell which one the kidnappers needed.
Really?
She let me borrow this photo album. He's sort of a jack of all trades, master of some.
Kind of a Renaissance man?
I'd call him pre-Renaissance, actually. He doesn't quite have it all together.
For instance?
Here's Mr. Ballpeen as a clown. He works kids' birthday parties.
That looks like fun.
Here he is teaching a course in automotive bodywork. And this is Hans as a hang glider instructor. And here he is as a plumber.
And this?
He worked on the cover for a while.
That's some career.
Here he is as a test acrobat, trying out the trapeze at a circus. And here he is as a human cannonball. And this is Hans as an MC at an accountant's convention. And this last one?
What's he doing?
Cocktail pianist. Just a one-nighter.
Hard to believe anybody would kidnap him for those kind of skills.
Try telling it to his wife. She's very upset.
No word from the APB? No one has seen anyone resembling him?
Debbie, make a list of those skills and see if anyone is having a convention in town. Any circuses coming in. Check to see if there are any big birthday parties.
Sounds like a lot of long shots.
I know, but it's all we've got to go on now.
Okay. Mrs. Ballpeen said she'd call us the minute they contact her to discuss the ransom.
Mathnet, frankly. Mr. Kane? Oh, good morning, sir. I was just out at your place yesterday. Well, I like it. Do you mow that great big lawn all by yourself? Yes, sir. I see, sir. Gotcha, sir. Right away, sir.
Orson Charles Kane?
Uh-huh. They'd like to see us. There's been a burglary.
You mean someone stole his hamburger?
Nope. Someone stole the Despair diamond.
Mr. Kane. You're the Mathnet people who helped my staff move that ridiculous thing in here yesterday.
We didn't help them move it. We estimated how much it weighed.
But as a matter of fact, the movers found it quite a bit lighter than you thought it would be.
Oh? Well, anyway, your hamburger looks nice in here. Goes well with the pink flamingo and the chocolate-covered bust of Bach, and...
It is not my hamburger. I never saw it before. Never mind that now. The world's most priceless diamond is missing.
When was it taken?
Sometime during the night. I saw it last night at 10. Mr. Kane found it missing this morning at 8.
Can you give us a motive?
Motive? Try $50 million. That's what that diamond was worth.
Any other reason you can think of as to why someone might want to take it?
Do you know how the thief got in? I understand your security system is practically fail-safe.
It is. No one gets in or out of here unless we know about it. There's only one entrance to the grounds, and it's guarded 24 hours a day.
Might have been an inside job.
One of my staff? Impossible. They've been with me forever.
Easy enough to say, Mr. Kane.
How's that?
Obviously, your system isn't 100% dependable because someone got in and got out with the Despair diamond.
Yes. I want that rock back. Whoever took it can't sell it. It's too well known. The minute he tries to sell it, the police will be notified and we'll have our man.
We can just sit back and wait till he tries to sell it, then.
Maybe he won't try to sell it. Maybe he'll just possess it as I did.
The thing we have to do right now is find out how your security system broke down.
That's kind of like closing elevator doors after the horse has flown the coop, isn't it, Kate?
Not really. If the thief could make off with the diamond...
She's right. He could get back in here and rob me blind.
Wait! Hive said the burger weighs less than we thought. Maybe it's hollow.
Hollow?
You know, empty inside. I mean, even though it has pickles, tomatoes, onions, and... hinges.
Hinges.
Hinges. Hinges.
Good work, George. I think we know how our man got in.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was 2:43 p.m. and the weather in Los Angeles had become cloudy and the temperature dropped enough to make tourists put on shirts. We were working the day watch out at Mathnet. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. We were busy trying to solve two cases at once. A man named Hans Ballpeen had been kidnapped and someone stole the Despair diamond from millionaire Orson Kane. When you're solving a problem, it's good to go back over the facts. We decided to look at a scene from yesterday's show. The thing we have to do right now is find out how your security system broke down.
That's kind of like closing elevator doors after the horse has flown the coop, isn't it, Kate?
Not really. If the thief could make off with the diamond...
She's right. He could get back in here and rob me blind.
Wait! Hive said the burger weighs less than we thought. Maybe it's hollow.
Hollow?
You know, empty inside. I mean, even though it has pickles, tomatoes, onions, and... hinges.
Hinges.
Hinges. Hey? Oh, hinges.
Good work, George. I think we know how our man got in.
Kate, do you know much about the Despair diamond?
A little bit. It's got quite a history.
Oh?
It's called the Despair diamond because for years and years its owners have had nothing but despair, sadness, and bad luck thrust upon them.
Really? You mean like it's haunted?
Something like that, I guess.
Well, who's owned it in the past?
Oh, lots of people over the years. Napoleon, Millard Fillmore, Marie Antoinette, Wiley Post.
Who did Kane buy it from?
The Chicago Cubs.
Wow.
It weighs 227.1 carats.
Martha grows carrots.
Not that kind of carrot, George. C-A-R-A-T. A carat is a small unit of weight used in measuring precious gems. A carat is equal to 200 milligrams.
Well, to find out how many milligrams it weighs,
You multiply the number of carats by 200.
that's 45,420 milligrams.
There's 1,000 milligrams in a gram.
That's about 45 grams. But what does that mean?
A nickel weighs about 5 grams, so it's about as heavy as 9 nickels.
That's not very heavy.
It is for a diamond, and it's very valuable. What's that cloth?
This? I found it in the Hamburger at Kane's place in yesterday's episode. Thought I'd ask Debbie to run some tests on it, but I can't find her.
May I see it? Ace. Ace?
That's the name of my cleaner. Ace Cleaning. Maybe the thief has his clothes done there, too.
This isn't clothing. It's like a heavy bag. Just for the heck of it.
Are you looking up Ace in the phone book?
Uh-huh. Ace Advertising, Ace Aerobics, Ace Action Bikes, Ace Achilles Tendon Repair, Ace Party Balloon Company, Ace Balloon Rental.
Kate, I was thinking about how the robber got out of Kane's estate.
Uh-huh.
Remember the problem with the missing baseball when Mrs. McGregor's house was missing, and I said, well, it couldn't have just flown away.
Yes, but it did fly away.
Ace Balloon Rental. Maybe the thief flew up, and away in a beautiful balloon.
That's brilliant. Let's roll.
Well, hello, folks. I'm Amelia Airliver. What can I do for you?
I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly, Mathnet.
We're working on a burglary case, and we need some information about hot air balloons.
You've come to the right place. I rent them, repair them, and sell them. I know balloons, ballooning, and balloonists.
I've never heard balloon conjugated before.
What do you need?
First of all, is this from one of your rigs?
Certainly looks like it. I'm pretty sure it is. Why?
We found it at the scene of a burglary. Is this what a balloon is made out of?
Oh, no. That's the heavy canvas bag the balloonist carried in.
I see. We think our suspect made his escape in a hot air balloon. How much trouble is it to get one of them airborne?
Oh, it's not difficult if you know what you're doing. But you do need a bit of room, though. Like a big field, for example.
He had plenty of room. You could hold a balloon convention on his front yard.
Well, see, you lay out the balloon, and then you make sure the load cables are straight. Then you fire up your propane burner.
Propane burner?
Yeah. The burner warms the air, and the fan blows the hot air into the balloon. That's how it's inflated. And then we set the gondola upright.
How long does it take?
Oh, depends on the temperature, the size of the balloon. It's a little complicated. I guess you could say anywhere between half an hour and an hour.
Is it a noisy operation?
I guess you could say it is. Why?
The security guards would have heard that, George. Thanks, Amelia. Guess we figured wrong.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thought sure we had him this time. All we had to do was find out who rented a balloon, look up his name in her records, and bingo, we had our man.
We'll just have to keep plugging. There has to be a solution to this problem. What's that?
It's a brochure on ballooning I got from Amelia. Kate. Kate?
What?
What if it wasn't a hot air balloon?
We know it wasn't. What are you talking about?
What if it was one of these?
A helium-filled balloon. Why not? Call Amelia. Maybe they're quieter. While George was getting more information about the balloons, I called Debbie and asked her to get specific weather records for the night of the robbery.
Amelia said it could have been a helium balloon. She rents them, but hasn't rented one recently. She says they are quieter, but you'd need a lot more helium.
Here's the weather report for that area, Kate.
Any winds that night?
Uh-huh. 10 miles an hour steady, gusting to 20.
That could push a balloon pretty far.
Which direction were the winds coming from?
From the west.
Amelia said a helium-filled balloon could travel for days if the pilot puts plenty of supplies on board.
And if it were averaging 15 miles an hour...
Let's say it's been up for 3 days. 24 hours a day, that's 72 hours. 72 hours at 15 miles per hour. 72 times 15, 1,080. The balloon could be more than 1,000 miles away.
According to the scale on this map, 1,000 miles is about 14 inches. And you gotta figure the wind direction changes, so it could be anywhere within a very wide sector.
We can alert the Air Force to keep an eye out for a runaway balloon.
Mathnet, Monday. Yes, Amelia, think of something else? The police called, uh-huh. Yes. Yes, Amelia, that helps a great deal. Thank you.
New information?
Uh-huh. The police just found a balloon in Griffith Park. Abandoned.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
9:43 a.m. and the earthquake tremors had subsided enough to allow the Los Angeles Miniature Golf Open to get the third round concluded. We were working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankley. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. We had been working on 2 cases all week long without success. Hans Ballpeen had been kidnapped and no one had heard from him or the kidnapper since Monday. A priceless diamond had been stolen and we hadn't found that either. We decided to go back over a scene from yesterday's show to see if we'd missed anything. Anything at all. Sometimes a good problem-solving strategy is to think of similar problems you've solved in the past and to see if the solution might apply to the present problem. I was looking for information in the greater Los Angeles telephone directory. Ace Advertising, Ace Aerobics, Ace Action Bikes, Ace Achilles Tendon Repair, Ace Party Balloon Company, Ace Balloon Rental.
Kate, I was thinking about how the robber got out of Kane's estate.
Uh-huh.
Remember the problem with the missing baseball when Mrs. McGregor's house was missing and I said, well, it couldn't have just flown away.
Yes, but it did fly away.
Ace Balloon Rental. Maybe the thief flew up, and away in a beautiful balloon.
That's brilliant. Let's roll. Did you talk to Amelia about the balloon?
Yes, it was hers all right, but it was an old one and had been altered.
How so?
Somebody had cut it up, re-sewn it, and made it much smaller. Amelia said there was no way she could trace it. It could have been done years ago.
Of course. It would have to be smaller. A full-size balloon couldn't have fit inside the Hamburger, but a little one.
This one would have folded and tucked in there.
What about the gondola?
Made out of canvas. It folded too.
Well, we might just know how our man got into the Kane estate and how our man got out of the Kane estate.
Yeah, if only we knew who our man is.
Great news, my mathematical friends. Guess what?
The Rams got a good quarterback.
Hans Ballpeen is back.
He's back? No ransom, nothing?
Nope. The kidnappers released him last night, and he just got home 5 minutes ago. Mrs. Ballpeen is beside herself.
She's having an out-of-body experience?
No, George. Thanks, Debbie. That's great news. Come on, George, let's meet Mr. Ballpeen.
Kate Monday, George Frankley, Mathnet. Meet my husband, Hans.
I'm happy to make your acquaintance. Beulah has told me how much help you were through this endless ordeal.
Well, it's our job, and we're happy to do it.
Sit and have some coffee.
Yes.
Mr. Ballpeen, please tell us what happened.
Well, last Sunday night, Beulah had gone to bed, and I remembered I had forgotten to put the trash out.
You had a trash fire?
Oh, No, I mean, I forgot to put it out by the curb for pickup. So, I had just put the barrel down when two men jumped me out of the bushes and pushed me in my car.
Why didn't you yell?
Oh, I couldn't. They put a big piece of tape over my mouth. They made me drive to a parking lot and dragged me out, hit me over the head. Next thing I knew, I was up in some shack in the woods.
Wow. What happened next?
Oh, well, they took the blindfold off and then sat me down at a workbench where they had laid out some tools.
Coffee, Mr. Franklin?
Thanks. Just half a cup. I don't like to overindulge.
Go on, Mr. Ballpeen. The tools?
Yes, diamond cutting tools. They took out a gun and forced me to cut a beautiful diamond.
Hans, I didn't know you were a diamond cutter too.
Oh, yes. For years in Amsterdam. Of course, that was long before I met you, my Liebchen. It was my profession in Holland. Of course, I haven't cut in 15 years, maybe more. There's not much demand for it in this country.
What did the diamond look like, Mr. Ballpeen?
Oh, it was a beautiful stone. It weighed over 200 carats.
And did you cut it?
No, yes. I studied it for a day or so, and then I cut it into 7 pieces. 7 perfect pieces. I guess you never lose it, huh?
What happened next?
Well, they put a blindfold bag on me, put me in their car, drove me around for a little ways, and then let me off in the mountains. I hiked. Fortunately, I was dressed for it. Finally, I came across a highway, hitchhiked home, and there I am.
You've had quite an adventure, sir. You must be glad he's home, Mrs. Ballpeen.
Oh, I am. You see, we've only been married a short time, and we're still newlyweds, I guess. Well, anyway, I'm not tired of him yet.
Just quite a little woman, huh?
And Hans, while you were away, I booked 2 more children's birthday parties for you on Saturday. I just knew you would come back. I don't know how, but I did.
She is all business, my wife. Speaking of business, I have a birthday party to do tonight, don't I?
Oh, yes?
Yes.
In fact, I've already inflated the balloons.
Thank you.
We'll let you get on with your lives.
Yes.
We're glad everything turned out all right. Aren't we, Kate?
Yes, we are. Thank you very much. Well, George, I guess we know what happened to Mr. Kane's despair diamond.
Uh-huh. Do you want to tell him, or do I have to?
Afraid so, sir. He cut your diamond into 7 pieces.
That's what would have happened to him if he hadn't cut the stone.
I'm afraid we'll never be able to trace the gem now.
At least it's in 7 pieces. That's sort of a break. Spreads the bad luck around.
Please leave me. I must weep.
He's taking pretty hard, Kate.
I don't blame him. Not exactly cause for a party.
Speaking of parties, did you notice what Mrs. Ballpeen used to fill those party balloons?
Helium.
What a coincidence, huh?
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
Los Angeles, California, 4:43 p.m. The coastal winds had died down enough for the poems of John Greenleaf Whittier, which had been blowing around, to have been collected. We were working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankley. The boss is Thad Green. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. We had spent all week working on what we thought were two separate problems, a kidnapping and a robbery. And then the two problems seemed to come together, but they didn't suggest a solution. We fast-forwarded through a couple of scenes from the week's show.
I've got something, Mathnetters.
That was fast. Boy, computers sure make it easier, don't they?
If I had to go through all that data by hand to find 1957 Chevys, it could take weeks, to say nothing of the mistakes that could be made.
We're looking for one with 2 doors.
2 doors. There are 172 of those.
And look, one of them is registered to Hans Balpine. License number 00313. Now we knew the name of the owner of the car that had been used in the kidnapping. Meanwhile, a giant hamburger had been delivered to Mr. Orson Charles Kane, the eccentric newspaper publisher. His staff needed to know how much it weighed so they could get the proper equipment to move it.
Here's a model of the box. To find its volume, we should multiply its length by its width by its depth.
So let's find the area of the top of the box. The length is 6 feet. The width is 6 feet. 6 times 6. The area is 36 square feet.
Right, that's the area. But we want to know the volume.
So we multiply the area times the depth of the box.
So multiply 36 by 4.
The volume is 144 cubic feet.
That's a good-sized burger.
But we still don't know how much it weighs because we don't know how much 1 cubic foot of oak weighs.
But I do. I called the lumber yard, and they told me that a cubic foot of oak weighs between 45 and 55 pounds. To be safe, let's use the heaviest weight.
Better use your calculator.
Okay. 55 pounds per cubic foot, 144 cubic feet. We multiply 55 times 144. That's 7,920 pounds.
We didn't seem to be getting any closer to the answer until we began to put some common sense with our mathematical sense. Not all solutions to problems come just from numbers.
You know, Kate, it's been a busy week. 2 big crimes happened.
Uh-huh.
And both of them are solved. Sort of.
I know what you mean. Sort of. Hans was kidnapped and he's safe at home. That's good.
The diamond was stolen.
And we know what happened to it. Even though that isn't that good, at least we know the outcome.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. What do you mean? You first.
Okay. Hans's story doesn't ring true. Here's a man who hasn't cut a diamond in 15 years. His wife didn't even know he was a diamond cutter. Who's going to trust him to cut one of the world's most precious gems?
Right. And his story. He said he climbed through the mountains, found a highway, and hitchhiked home. The first thing I'd do, if I had been kidnapped and got away, would be to get to a phone and call the police.
Uh-huh. And speaking of climbing through the mountains, did you notice his cowboy boots?
Yes. I thought they were a bit ostentatious, but that's not something to indict a man on.
The bottoms. He hadn't climbed down the mountain in those boots. The soles were practically brand new.
And another thing. If he were a diamond cutter, he would have recognized the Despair diamond. It's world famous, and there's hundreds of pictures of it.
There's just one problem, though.
What's that?
He was kidnapped the night before the burglary, so he couldn't have committed the crime.
But that's another thing that doesn't make any common sense.
How's that?
If you were going to steal the Despair diamond and kidnap a diamond cutter, which would you do first?
I'd steal the gem, of course. You don't kidnap a diamond cutter if you're not sure that you have a diamond to cut.
Exactly. Maybe he staged the kidnapping. I think we should pay a call on our diamond cutting friend.
My friends, come in, come in.
Thank you, Mrs. Balpine.
It's my 2 favorite mathematicians.
It's nice to come back to a place where you don't have to show your badge every time. You know, home, Dodger Stadium, places like that.
Hans is in his lab, practicing for the party tonight.
His lab?
That's what he calls it. It's just his room. I call it his toy box. He keeps all his things in there. His magic tricks, his hang glider, his 2 sets of books for the accountant.
Uh-huh.
He's about ready to leave to perform at a birthday party tonight, but he'll have time to say hello to you too. Oh, I'll go get some coffee so you go surprise you.
We'd love to.
Mr. Baldwin.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Good evening. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Did we startle you?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I jumped in the air. I don't usually do that when I'm preparing for a party. How do you do?
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Baldwin, but we have reason to believe that the diamond you cut may have been a particularly valuable one.
Oh, yes. No question. Yes. My analysis of it led me to believe that it weighed over 200 carats.
We think it might have been the Despair diamond.
Yes. Funny you should mention that. I was just looking at some pictures of the Despair diamond, and yes, I think you're right. It could be...
Mr. Baldwin.
Yes.
What are these?
Sketches, doodles. Nothing of any import. I don't mind. It's the devil's workshop.
Coffee break!
Good.
Half a cup, George?
Yes, please.
So, what can I do for you two?
We were just in the neighborhood and wanted you to verify this statement on your kidnapping case.
Oh, yes.
Please sign it.
Well, very well. Let me see what we have. Yes, this looks correct.
Hans, honey, Jules and Kate would love to see some of the tricks you're going to do tonight at the party.
No, I shouldn't like to bore them with my nonsense.
Not at all. I love magic.
Yes, please, Mr. Baldwin. I think you'll find us to be a very attentive audience.
Very well, perhaps a little card trick, to get you on your way. I think you'll enjoy this. Now, take a card and a card out of the pack, and show it to everybody else, and then put it back in the pack, huh?
Jack of spades.
Why don't we try that one again, huh? But this time, don't tell me what it is. Put it back in the pack, okay. Very well. We give him a little bit of a shuffle. Okay. Take the card off the top. Is that your card?
That's wonderful.
How'd you do that?
I know.
I know you know, but we don't tell, do we?
Oh, never. Do the trick with the fan, honey.
With the fan, very well, my dear. It's so warm in here. I think I cool off a little. Look at you. You are warm, too. Why don't you cool off, Oh, look. Oh, what happened? Oh, no.
I'm
You're
very sorry.
broken my fan. I had to use this at the party tonight. Fortunately, it is not very injured.
That's very clever.
Yes.
Isn't he wonderful?
Now, Viola. You know I only wanted half a cup.
But I only gave you half a cup.
How did you do that, Mr. Baldwin?
The what?
Fill my cup. To the rim.
The Despair Diamond.
Quite a good trick.
Sorry about this, Mrs. Ballpeen.
I just don't understand what he was up to.
We figure Hans stole the diamond from Mr. Kane. He used the helium from the tanks in the basement here to fly his balloon over Mr. Kane's walls.
What about the kidnapping?
He just pretended. He really wasn't missing at all.
After everyone thought the diamond had been cut up, he was going to cut it himself. Or take it back to Amsterdam and have a real expert cut it. Then he was going to sell it.
He had it all figured out. He almost made a grand slam.
Uh-huh. Right down to the last trick.
Then you say you're going to sell the diamond and give all the money to charity?
Yes, and you two deserve much of the credit.
That's very generous of you.
You're a good mathematician, Mundy.
And you're a good citizen, Kane.
Hans Ballpeen was tried and convicted of a 459, stealing a valuable diamond. He was sentenced to an appropriate number of years in state prison where he learned yet another skill, making little rocks out of big rocks.
% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the U.S. Department of Education, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, and the Carnegie Corporation of New York.
Corporate funding is provided by IBM. At IBM, we believe education is the key to the future. We are pleased to help support Square One TV as an innovative way to introduce young people to the exciting world of mathematics.